let's listen.
Welcome to Man on the Street. Today we are inside the Rock and Roll Archie's ice cream truck in Pershing Square, downtown Los Angeles for the Forever 80s live show. And I'm talking with members of the very popular classic alternative tribute band, the Reflexx. Right now I'm talking with the drummer, Russ Sims. Russ, you know what? I mean, talk about it. A lot of people don't know how the band was formed. I mean, did you guys answer an ad on the internet or what happened? Tell us about that.
Jamie, good to see you. Thank you for having us. Yeah, so I mean, really this whole thing got started just out of a need for an 80s band that really truly wanted to recreate these songs, these synth-based 80s songs in a true form, and to do it in a way that actually, you know, hopefully gets as close as possible to the original sound of these songs. And that was the original, you know, the original vision, the original vibe. And so, you know, I've been fortunate to put together a collection of guys who are all uniquely gifted in a way that enables us to do that. And so we've got, you know, a very kick-ass synth player over here. Greg is is extremely good at singing these songs, and he's a great front man. And then we've got our, you know, English connection over here, you know, is a kick-ass guitarist, bassist, and all-around awesome guy, fun guy. And then, you know, it was actually, you know, kind of an idea that I had, and I reached out, and I was fortunate to find the perfect group of guys to make this happen.
Talking with now Chris Lytle, bass player and guitar player for the Reflexx. Chris, I want to ask you about the Sands, which used to be called 80s in the Sand. I went to the first three, and of course you guys are phenomenal at the pool. Everybody loves you there, and it's just a huge hit. You'll be playing your 7th Sands in November in Cancun. Can you tell us about just overall playing at that event, and if you have anything special for this year coming up in November?
Hey Jamie, well, thank you so much for having me here. It's really a pleasure. We had a great show today. 80s in the Sand, or now the Sands as it's called, it will be our 7th time doing this event. It's going to be in Cancun, Mexico. It is always a complete riot every time. Everybody there is just ready for the 80s at 110%. Bring your full 80s game on. There's costume nights. There's at least 2, if not 3 bands every night. So you get your everything you need. You get your food, your drink, and like tons and tons of awesome, incredible 80s music. So there's really nothing quite like it. The first 80s in the Sand, I played with Mike Score from Flock of Seagulls, and then after that, I ended up going on tour with him. So you know, it really worked out fantastic. I love getting to play with all of these artists, getting to see all these artists play. It's a once in a lifetime experience.
I'm here with Greg Craycraft, the lead vocalist of the Reflexx, the front man. And Greg, I want to ask you about, it was a very special show that you did in February at the House of Blues in Anaheim. 15-year anniversary, 15 years of bringing Southern California and beyond the greatest of new wave classical alternative music. Talk about that night, the anniversary party, and what it meant to you guys.
Yeah, so our 15th anniversary, what I really wanted to do was, you know, the Reflexx is a celebration of this genre of music. We are not the original artists, and we never want to pretend that we are. But we want to do our best, you know. We want to bring it out. Put it this way. I want the Reflexx to be the band that I would want to go see because I love this music. You know what I mean? And so therefore, like, I want to make what we do something really, really good. And our 15th anniversary was essentially, I was like, what is the coolest venue we could do in our hometown in Orange County? And so we picked the House of Blues, which is perfect. And I want to invite every person who's ever seen us play. And I want to invite every artist that we've ever worked with. You know, we've had the fortune to back up artists and be the band for so many artists. A lot of which we reached out to, but a lot of which we, you know, ended up with at the Sands and so forth. But I literally, for that event, I called every single person. I said, we're doing this anniversary. Would you come sing, you know, a couple hits with us? And everybody who said yes was there. And it was an amazing night. I mean, like I said, we had 1,500 plus people from Orange County that are our friends. I call our fans friends because that's really what they are. We had 7 artists join us on stage for like 1 or 2 songs. Richard Blade was there to celebrate with us. You know, it's like such a cool night. And, you know, there's an element of it's like, I wanted it to be this culmination. Like if that was the last thing we did, I wanted it to be epic. But at the same time, I also wanted it to be, this could be the night 1 of the next 15 years. You know what I mean? Like that's the way my mind, I'm a dreamer and I love that, dude. And I love this genre and I love, I love the fact that we've worked our way into this position that we're the ambassadors of this genre, kind of like you are, you know, with your radio station. I love being the ambassador of this genre to the people who love it, and then we just go out and deliver, you know, at the best way we can.
Craig, we met at the first 80s in the Sand 2017, and that was a huge moment. Amazing. For everybody. But you have some big news here, and only on Man on the Street, and of course I'm with Village Radio, that people are going to hear this right now. So please give us this big news and this big announcement.
Yeah, 2017, 80s in the Sand, that's where we met. You know, the Reflexx was there. It was such an amazing event because nobody knew it was going to happen. And some amazing experiences happened, you know, like that, the camaraderie, the community that happened. But yeah, so we've been doing the Sands event since 2017. We're going to be there in November. But I wanted to surprise you and your listeners, Village Radio and Man on the Street fans, with something that nobody else knows. My band knows. The people who hired us know. I'm trying to think of who else knows. I don't think anybody else knows. So, like, your listeners are going to be the first ones to hear this. The Reflexx is booked on the 80s Cruise 2025. This is the first time we've ever announced it. So we're excited. You know, we've been in the Sands every year, and we've heard how crazy the cruise gets, and we're like, oh yeah, baby. So like Adam Ant's gonna be there, Minute Work's gonna be there, Alarm. I mean, so many bands, and like we get to be part of that. So we're super stoked. And anyway, it's cool to announce the Reflexx will be in the 2025 80s Cruise.
I want to thank the guys from the Reflexx for joining me today on Man on the Street. And remember, they're going to be in Cancun, Mexico in November. So check them out there. And also go to their website, thereflexx with 2x's.com, and their Facebook page. And I will see you next time on the next episode of Man on the Street. And listen to me Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 Eastern, 4 to 6 Pacific on villageradio.net. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.